What's up everybody, Renfail here, and we're back again with another Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Rogue Trader. This is the latest game from Owlcat. It's set in the Warhammer 40K universe, and it's got a lot of complexities to it. So when you're going through the character creation process, you're going to be looking at things like the homeworld bonuses, the origin bonuses, the different classes, which are called archetypes here, and the abilities that go along with those, and eventually you're going to get to the characteristics and skills page. And all of this might seem overwhelming, but that's why we do these newbie guides, because a lot of folks out there are new, like I was a couple of months ago when I was playing through the beta. But now we're in the launch version, and we can actually talk about all this really juicy stuff. So today we're going to be going into all of this and the numbers, what they mean, how you can dive into the meta if you choose to do so, or if you're just going to focus on the role play, because it just depends on how you want to play the game. If you've never watched one of my guides before, this is the perfect time for me to say welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update or a live stream. Those happen daily at 5:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central, multi-streaming on Twitch and YouTube, where YouTube is the day-to-day stuff though. So all the game guides, movie reviews, news articles, and all of the other games that I play and the playlists are here on YouTube, so make sure to check all of those out. Don't forget there's a Discord if you want to go above and beyond. Also, there's member videos for those of you who are supporting the channel. But in the meantime, let's dive into these statistics here and what they all mean. So your weapons skills, there's general skills and weapon skills in this game, and they all do different things, and it's kind of crazy actually, the layers that they have in this game so far. So right now you're going to notice there are some green and red here. Those are represented, green being good, red being less than average, and those numbers are modified by your homeworld and your origin selections. So we've talked about this in the overview guides for homeworlds and origins, but all of these different homeworlds have different pros and cons. So you'll see things like, +5 fellowship and agility, -5 willpower. And then you get into the origins and it's the same thing. These are giving you pros, these are giving you pluses to your characteristics and statistics, right? So when you eventually get over here, you're going to notice that these have different numbers. Some are green, some are red, and those are largely defined by your homeworld and origins decisions. Now, the cool thing is that you can level all of these up as you go throughout the game. If we go over here and look at the archetypes as an example and dive into what this looks like as you're leveling up one of the different classes, aka archetypes in the game, you notice that as you go up here, every once in a while you'll get the ability to bump up some of your skills by 10. Also, where's it at here? Characteristics. You'll be able to increase your characteristics by 5. So every once in a while, you can increase your characteristics and you can increase your skills. It doesn't happen all the time, so it's just something where eventually you'll be able to increase these things. So make sure to just pay attention to these as you go through the game, because you will be able to adjust these characteristics and skills as you get deeper and deeper into things, and you will eventually reach a cap based on your level and some other stuff. So at the gate, right out of the gate, you're going to have 30 points that you can assign anywhere you want within this area of weapons skills over here. You can't adjust your base skills per se, but what you're going to notice is that your weapons skills, ballistic skills, so on and so forth, these will change over on the right hand side. You're going to notice how those are affected. So for example, the weapons skill doesn't really impact anything here, nor the ballistic skill, but strength definitely affects athletics, toughness affects carouse, agility affects demolition, intelligence affects logic, lore, Imperium, lore, warp, lore, Xenos, medica, tech use, perception is awareness, willpower is something unique, and fellowship is coercion, commerce, and persuasion. So there are some of these characteristics govern some of the skills that are happening over here. So that's important to understand depending on what type of class you're going to be playing in the game. So a quick rundown on these, and they have descriptions over here on the right, but I do kind of want to give a greater understanding of how these works. Some of them are really simple. Weapon skill, that literally is just your competence in all forms of close combat, meaning melee combat. So it's your ability to parry and the ability to reduce your enemy's ability to parry. It's also your dodge chance against melee attacks and increases your chance of scoring a critical hit in melee combat. So the weapon skill is primarily for melee-based characters who are going to be up close and personal in a melee setting. And on the reverse side of that is the ballistic skill, which is directly related to the ranged characters. So it's your character's accuracy with all forms of ranged weapons. A higher skill means you're a Deadeye. Your base hit chance for range attacks is 30 plus your ballistic skill, as an example. So having these two high, it just depends. Are you a melee character? You want weapon skill. Are you a ranged character? You want ballistic skill. Strength is directly related to the damage that you inflict with melee weapons. It does not have anything to do with the weight of... Thankfully, there's no weight limit in this game, so you don't have to worry about the inventory items that you're carrying. There's no weight limit. So it's purely about how hard can you hit somebody with a melee object, but also allows you to do things like lift heavier objects. So those come into play in sort of... As you're going through the game, there are going to be skill checks, like lift this object. That's going to be related to a strength check. It also affects your athletics skill, which in and of itself represents your ability to traverse difficult terrain, leap over collapsed sections of the deck, it says, climb over super rocks. If you've ever played the Pathfinder games from them, or like Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, every once in a while you'll find those. Even Baldur's Gate 3 had this as well. Like you'll have like this icon that says athletics, and it'll show like a percentage chance of you being able to jump over that thing or climb up that wall. That's what this is in relation to. So it mostly affects those roleplay scenarios or environmental scenarios. Toughness is how easily you can shrug off injuries, as well as resisting things like toxins, poisons, diseases, and other physical ailments. It also increases your chance of resisting the negative physical effects and amount of wounds that your characters can have. It also affects the carouse skill, which is the ability to resist negative effects applied by alcohol, poisons, stimulators, and it also can give you options in dialogue. So toughness is, again, more of a melee thing if you're going to be up there in the thick of it, whereas agility is more related to, agility governs a lot of different things, honestly. It's your quickness, reflexes, and poise. So it allows you to do things like disarm traps and demolition. You can keep your footing when crossing treacherous terrain. It improves your initiative, your dodge chance, and if you're using a melee weapon, your dodge reduction is equal to half of your agility. So it governs your ability to dodge as well. Intelligence governs a lot of different things related mostly to lore in the world. Now, this is going to come into conversations as well, but there's various types of lore. There's Imperium lore, Warp lore, Xenos lore. And these are almost always going to be conversation checks or checks that happen in the environment where there's an object that you need to click on to understand something more about it. Logic is a character's rational ability to make rational arguments and allows you to notice any logical inconsistencies in people's words. It also helps players operate cogitators, which are the computers that you find in the game world. And again, it's lots of dialogue options. Medica is your ability to heal other players. So for those of you who have the Medica ability, the better your intelligence, the better you're going to be able to heal people, remove their wounds, so on and so forth. Healing old injuries before they turn into traumas. And also tech use, which is your ability to essentially pick locks and deal with the cogitators, which are the old machines that you're going to be dealing with on a pretty regular basis. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Everywhere you go, there's the cogitators. It's also used to, like I said, open doors. So tech use is a pretty big thing for that as well. Then there's perception. which describes how well you perceive your surroundings. This is those like little, they're outlined in purple in most games you play, but it's like secrets that you find in the game world. It's also the awareness skill, and it helps reduce the enemy's dodge chance against your attacks. And the awareness is what allows you to see things in the environment, secret passages, suspicious elements in the environment, so on and so forth. But also really cool, I think, is the fact that perception ties into reducing the enemy's dodge chance. That's kind of a unique way to do it, where you have this stat that's not directly related to combat, but it is, because it definitely affects combat. So it's really cool the way perception works. Willpower is your ability to withstand the horrors of the warp, the terrors of space, and the dreadful opponents bound to encounter the Cronus Expanse. This is your chance to resist negative mental effects and psychic powers, which is kind of useful because you're always going to be coming up against crazy stuff from the void, man. I've learned that. I didn't know that when I first started playing the game, but the deeper you get into Rogue Trader, the more you realize it's an inevitability that you're going to be coming up against demons and other craziness. So willpower is a good thing to have. Now, Fellowship is kind of like Charisma in a lot of other games. It's your ability to interact with other creatures, to deceive, charm, or befriend them. And High Fellowship is going to help your character find a way to approach a gathering of unsociable servants or to effortlessly make deals with treacherous merchants, affecting your persuasion, coercion, and commerce skills. So just think of Fellowship exactly like Charisma in other games that you've played that are fantasy-based, because that's essentially what it is. So this is going to be primarily related to conversation options that you have in the game and your ability to have additional persuasion options to win people over and to avoid combat. So it can be very helpful if you are preferred to be a player who wants to talk your way through these situations as opposed to just fight your way through situations. So there you have it, everybody. That is a quick overview and the ultimate beginner's guide to characteristics and skills in Rogue Trader to help you create the best character to go through this amazing CRPG from Owlcat Games. If you like this guide, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams happen at 5:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Time on Twitch and YouTube. Lots of stuff happens here on YouTube, though. All the game guides, the movie reviews, the TV shows, the gaming news, all the other games we play. Check out the playlists, join the Discord, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Until then, stay safe and happy gaming.